Welcome to the Chamber Vibes podcast with your host, Brittany Timmons, the Greater Guthrie Chamber of Commerce CEO and President. In this podcast, you will hear from local guests who will discuss topics such as leadership, small business, and our vibrant community. You'll also hear success stories and tips from amazing local businesses, dive into important news, meet community leaders, and find out how you can get involved in our community. From the Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful and historic downtown Guthrie, America, here is Brittany Timmons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of Chamber Vibes. Today, I've got my friend and chamber investor, Jake Leonard, with Cedar Valley Pro Wash on. So how are you doing?
Doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Good. We always talk about how cool the backgrounds are, but this is probably like top three? Yeah, top three so far.
That is an actual photo of
Cedar
looking to the southwest out of my backyard.
Okay, yeah. So it doesn't look like you got a bad spot to live there.
No, it's quite enjoyable.
In Cedar Valley. I'm a little partial to Cedar Valley myself. So yeah, if you don't know where Cedar Valley is, everyone, it's a very small community, golf community, just to the west of Guthrie. So, but we're Guthrie. We're Guthrie and Cedar Valley.
We are.
Yes. All right. So Cedar Valley Pro Wash. So let's talk about it. You're a veteran-owned business?
I am a veteran.
Okay.
We are a veteran. Honestly, I hesitate to sometimes to bring that up or even advertise it because I don't want people to feel like we use that as a leverage for advertising or for marketing, right? I just when I was kind of mulling over whether to put that into our advertising, it kind of came down to it's just a big part of who I am.
Then I think that you're doing the right thing because it definitely jumped out to me. You know, I'm like, oh, veteran-owned business. I don't think people will think that. I think that there's so much respect for, not that I think, I know, there's so much respect for veterans. And so to me, if that's part of your story, then I think it's important to put that out there. So what branch did you serve in?
I was in the Army.
In the Army, okay.
I joined right out of high school, 18 years old. Was stationed at Fort Hood for 6 years.
Killeen, Texas.
I'm
very familiar. Yes. My college roommate is from there.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yes, yeah. I did not do research before I came. I actually did know that.
Wow.
I know. It's like the largest, isn't it the largest military?
It is.
Base in the country?
It's definitely the largest in the country.
Okay, in the country.
And probably the largest in the world.
Yeah. So how long were you there?
I was there for 6 years.
6 years. Okay. Yes.
So we ended up... ETS'd out of the military in 2005 is when I got out. So it seems like so long ago. It has been a long time.
I know. I feel the same. I'm like, when I was just in high school. And you're like, 20 years ago.
Right.
Like, it's going fast.
Where does time go?
It's going fast. I know. Here we are at the end of 23 already. It's crazy. Right. Yeah. So you're not originally from Guthrie. You're like me, transplant. So where are you from originally?
So, yes, I am a transplant. We moved here in 2019. And I'm originally from Ponca City, Oklahoma.
Okay. Our friends just to the north, yeah.
Right. So, but I joined the military at a young age, right out of high school, and have kind of been gone since then. I've never moved back to Ponca. It was always a goal to get back to Oklahoma.
Right.
But, out of the military, I took a job in oil and gas. And if you know anything about that industry, it's quite demanding.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I do.
It's a very demanding industry, and I spent a lot of time away and things. And, in 2019, we were fortunate enough that my job assignment had changed and allowed me to choose where I wanted to live. And we decided to come here to Guthrie.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you found a spot out in Cedar Valley and loved it? And
we did.
Okay.
We did. And we originally, we came up here from Houston for a baseball tournament that my two older boys were playing in.
Okay.
And kind of, I don't want to get cliche or nothing, but we were just, it was a Friday morning. And I think the wife was looking for some coffee, and I think she walked into Rick's Fine.
Oh, that's
chocolate.
So cliche and perfect.
It is. I
love it.
I'm not a coffee drinker, but while the wife was inside grabbing coffee, I was just kind of outside, just enjoying the view and thinking, what a
nice
cool
little
place.
town. Yeah. Very cool.
Right.
We love that. Well, Stacy from Rick's Coffee will definitely love that story too. Yeah. So I guess it didn't take long then for both of you to decide, like, this would be a good place to call home.
It didn't.
So,
we both just kind of fell in love with it right there, and we knew that it was always our goal to get back to Oklahoma, and this kind of seemed like a perfect place for us.
Right. Good. That's awesome. Okay. So that's where Cedar Valley Pro Wash, the name comes from.
Exactly.
I'm guessing.
Very
okay.
original, right?
Yeah. Hey, it's okay. I like it. There wasn't another one.
Right.
So yeah. So it works. Okay. So what all do you guys do? I mean, we talked a little bit before we went on the show that, people think it's just pressure washing. So that's your logos, got a guy with the pressure washer. So are you cleaning driveways? I mean, is that all you're doing? What else do you do?
Certainly a part of it, right? Driveway cleaning is certainly a part of it.
Yes.
And honestly, it's a lot of our work for the residential side.
Right.
But we're a pretty much a full service residential and commercial pressure washing company. Pressure washing, and I'll add soft washing, which a lot of folks
I
don't
saw
know
that
what
on your
is.
website. I had no clue.
So what we do is a lot of it is, to be honest, it kind of weighs on the side of aesthetic value in your property, right? Cleaning your driveway and your hardscapes, your house, maybe your siding, your roof, getting those things cleaned up for you. If you think about it, we spend a lot of money, me included, on keeping our yard manicured, right? And then
I know a certain show producer that takes very much pride in his green lawn.
Right.
So,
we want the greenest lawn and a perfect cut, and we're competing with our neighbors and things. And then you have this beautiful green lawn, but then your driveway just kind of looks
with some Oklahoma red dirt.
With some Oklahoma red dirt.
Right, which I'm from the Tulsa area, so let me just say, in the 918, the red dirt doesn't exist. Like, you start heading east, it changes. So I get here and I'm like, oh, this is like what red dirt country and red dirt things come from, because it's very red and annoying.
A lot of people don't realize that our red dirt is actually rust.
Right.
Right. So I
think I'd heard that.
Yeah, the soil below our topsoil is very iron rich. Mm-hmm. So as that permeates up to our topsoil, it oxidizes, turns to iron oxide.
Yes, and then it stains everything.
And then it stains everything.
Right. So then that's where you come in.
Right.
Okay.
And that's a lot of what we do. We have Three Tree Homes is building a beautiful community out in Cedar Valley right now. And they've been having us come out after they build their homes and wash the red dirt off the driveways and off the side of the house.
Right.
Because the earlier you get to it, the better. It's a lot easier to manage. But it does stain. It takes a chemical treatment. And that's actually a soft wash process. It's not a power wash.
Oh.
You can get out there with a power washer. You might knock it off a little bit, but you're not going to clean it.
Get it clean.
Right.
Okay.
So it actually just takes a very specific chemical that we use. We like to use a supplier. It's called Front 9 Chemical Restoration. Okay. And they actually started on a golf course, which is cool.
I was going to say, that sounds very golf course-ish. So, yep, there's a picture right there.
Yeah, so we use a very specific chemical that we apply on there and allow that chemical to do its magic and rinse it off. It is that simple. It is a commercial-grade chemical, so it's not easy to get a hold of, and it's very expensive. So the average homeowner probably won't have it sitting around in their garage or whatnot, but it can be a daunting task if the red mud or clay has been there for several years, right? So if it's been sitting on that brick or on that siding for a long time, then obviously that stain's gonna be a little bit harder to manage. But fortunately, we've been able to manage it pretty well.
Cool. So how in the world? Okay, you said you military and then oil and gas. So how in the world did you get into this?
Oh, I wish I could say that growing up I always wanted to be a pressure washer.
Hey, most of us are not doing what we thought. I wanted to be a vet, and now the thought of that, I'm like, no. Yeah. More power to our amazing veterinarians, but no.
The truth is that, out of the military I went to oil and gas, and I spent about 19 years in oil and gas. And it required for me to be away for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Of that 19 years, more than half of it, I was away working somewhere, right? And while that provided a very good life for my family, and I got to see many different countries and travel the world and things, that's exciting. The only place I've ever wanted to work was at home.
Yeah.
And I was in my office, this was this past summer, I was in my office down in South Texas, and I was kind of just reflecting on the last 18 years, because our oldest son, Jacob, was graduating high school and about to go off to Stillwater to go to school. And I was kind of reflecting on the last 18 years and call it a moment of clarity or what you will, but I think at that moment I decided I was done. I needed to create a plan and kind of get away from the oil and gas so that I can be home and make myself more available, for my family. And so we set out to do that. And really without a follow-up plan, I kind of submitted my resignation and
Oh, wow. Took a huge leap of faith.
A huge leap of faith.
Wow.
So I found myself in the summertime without a job. I didn't have a job, and we were okay. We're doing fine, and kind of wondering what's next. And the only thing I've ever wanted to do was law enforcement was number one, and the second was entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So I originally got into law enforcement. I tried to.
Okay.
I had actually went through the hiring process for Oklahoma City PD. Did not work out. And then I actually for a short term, took a position at the Logan County Detention Center.
Okay.
And worked there briefly. That didn't work out either. So my wife's just like, she told me to take a break and figure out what you want to do next. And so we decided to pack up the kids. We're a family of 8. We got 6 kids. And we booked flights.
Bless you.
Yeah, I know. Bless my wife.
Yes, for real.
We booked flights to the Far East, to Indonesia, and we spent the summer over there.
Wow.
Just kind of really just taking a moment to breathe and to not have stress and to kind of reconnect and build a connection with the family again. And it was just the best thing ever.
That's awesome.
And then when we came back to reality,
you're like, okay.
The wife's like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, she's like, why don't you start a business? And, just kind of market research. And I have a friend that does pressure washing. He has a very successful company outside of Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Steel Pro Wash. And they do a great job. He had kind of introduced me to the industry,
yeah.
And I kind of just went from there, just like, well, let's give it a shot. So we got started. This is my attempt to kind of make myself more available to the family and to be home. And I only had 2 requirements when I was thinking of a company. One was that it was something that my kids could help with.
Yes.
Right. That they could
very
join
hands-on.
in. Right.
Yeah.
And then want something that I could do to help give back to the community. I would be serving the community still in some way. Those were the only 2 real requirements that I had, and it kind of fell in. So.
It worked out.
It did. It worked out. And
very
it's been
cool.
great.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and then you partner with home builders like 3 Trees.
Right.
And things like that.
Right.
So,
3 Tree Homes has been a blessing for us, and ACO and Construction out of Oklahoma City has been a big blessing for us.
Awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what all? Okay. So you talked about like the new home construction, but what other type property? I'm guessing you can clean up any property. I'm guessing.
Sure. Any property can use a clean.
Yeah.
Right. I tell you, the jobs that I find really rewarding. If I could share one story with you.
I would love for you to share your story.
So when we first got started this past summer, a lady had contacted us about coming to look at this white chalky stuff that was on the side of her brick home. And she had an older brick home, very beautiful, but it had this white chalky substance on it that she would have rather not had there.
Right.
And she had tried everything. She tried every, big box store chemical that you could use. She tried pressure washing it. She even tried muriatic acid.
Wow.
And couldn't get it off. And she called us over there, and as I introduced myself to her, she quickly followed that up with, I know there's nothing you can probably do, but I figured I would give it a shot. And that
you're like, challenge accepted.
Right. To be honest with you, after seeing it, I didn't know if there's anything we could do.
Right.
She was about to paint her whole house. That was where she was at with it. So she was very discouraged about the whole thing. So looking at it and doing a little bit of research, I found out that it was efflorescence. Efflorescence is a mineral deposit.
Okay.
There's a couple of ways it can get on your house. On your older brick structures, it seeps from the mortar. So your mortar has a mineral content in it, and over the years it seeps out onto the brick and dries onto the brick, and it's very hard to get off.
Okay. So
that's the primary means. There's secondary means where, and this was the case for her, is that it was her water sprinkler system was tied into a hard water line, right? So from her well, and it was spraying onto her house.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I left it on the house, and you can find pictures on the website. It's not that one. It's an older brick.
But there's some other pictures, yes, of before and after.
Yeah, so you can find pictures of it. But so I did a little bit of research, found out what it was, did some research on chemicals. Front 9 Restoration had a chemical to treat this efflorescence, and within
Is that
hours,
the picture?
That is it.
There we go. Okay, so if you're watching on YouTube, good job, Chris. Yes, you can see the before and after there.
Right. So that was all over her house on different sides.
Okay.
So within
I have
hours,
seen this
before.
I have seen that before on people's houses, and
it's
wondered.
very common.
I was going to say, I feel like it is. Yeah.
It's very common, and
wow.
nothing will take it off. You have to have a very specific blend of chemicals to do it. So within hours, we was able to get that cleaned up, and the results were great. She was very happy. She didn't have to paint her house. And she's actually
huge cost savings for her.
Huge cost savings for her, and a great benefit for us, because now she's going to have us clean her pool area next.
Oh, there you go. Very cool. That's awesome. So, yeah, you just had to, like you said, you dove in and researched and just learned a whole new world.
Right. And those are the type of jobs that really make me feel good about it.
Yes.
Right? I was able to do something for somebody.
Right. Well, and I'm sure you were a little bit nervous when she came at you with, not sure you can,
right.
Not sure if anything will work, but.
Right.
So, yeah. So, what's your team like? I know you said your kids can help from time to time, but.
Right. So, I've got one kid that's going to Oklahoma State, right? And he's still trying to figure out the college life. He's a freshman, his first semester. So, he helped last week. He comes out and helps on jobs. He'll get more involved as he learns to live the college life,
right?
Figures out where his free time is.
That's a lot, yeah.
So he helps, and we've also got we got his roommate who he grew up with that's going to school with him at Oklahoma State as well, is helping.
There's some of your crew here on the screen.
That's them.
Yeah.
So that's
them.
my son, the tall one.
Okay.
I don't know where he got his height from, but and then his buddy there that he grew up with.
That's good. That's good for them.
Yep. And they were attending some training there. We had put them through some training to use the front nine restoration chemicals. So they help. We've recently hired Mike O'Connor.
Yes, which lots of Guthrie folks know Mike.
Yeah, he's a Guthrie native. Just a fantastic person. Mm-hmm. And he's leading our business development side. So he's going to be focusing on engaging in new potential commercial contracts and customers and things of that nature. So he's now working for us.
That's awesome.
And then we'll eventually start hiring for a crew in the springtime.
Okay.
Kind of an off season, as you would anticipate.
Right.
You know, the colder months are an off season for us.
Right.
So we would
good time to kind of focus
breathe.
on your breathe and focus, like you said, on your marketing and getting your name out there.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So you have a fleet of, you got a couple vehicles that you do this in. Did I see a Jeep Gladiator on a post?
That's how I got started.
Okay, because I connected with you there because we're Gladiator people. So anyway.
Yeah, so I started with a small custom skid that was put in the back of my Jeep.
Yeah.
To get us started, and that led to a commercial trailer.
That one there on the screen. That's it. And so there's the Gladiator. See,
that's the original setup. The Gladiator.
I saw the Gladiator and was like, he does this out of the back of his Gladiator. I think he even showed my husband that. So.
Right. Yeah, and that led to purchasing the commercial trailer, which then led to purchasing a flatbed skid that's outfitted for residential and commercial work. So we had 2 full-time units, and I haven't actually advertised this yet, and you'll be the first person I've told.
Ooh, I feel special. Okay.
But we're in the process of getting 2 custom-built trailers, small trailers, for those DIY folks out there that want to do it themselves.
Oh, wow.
Or may want to have a cheaper option than to have a real professional come out. Maybe it's just a driveway cleaning they think they can handle. We have an option where they'll be able to rent commercial equipment, not your Lowe's equipment that you're going to buy. This is commercial equipment that's going to cut the time in half and actually be really fun to use because it comes with really good equipment.
Okay.
So that'll be coming in the
Don't tell Corey.
springtime.
No, just kidding. Oh, there's your truck. Looks great there. Yep, with the logo and the flag. I love that. Very cool.
Yeah, we're proud of that. We like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very cool. Well, I think it's amazing. This is exactly why we do this show, is for people to tell their stories and and just how you ended up here and things like that. So now that you've been here for 4 years, since 19, I had to do some math there for a minute. What are some of the things that your family loves about Guthrie?
Oh, we just love there's just so much that's going on in Guthrie.
So much going on.
And there's so many events that are going on that the kids always want to. Sorry.
You're good.
It's time to pick up the kids.
It's all right. It's okay. It's real life.
So the events that go on, there's always events going on and things for families to engage in and having a small community. Some things that we love is that you can go downtown and to Rick's or you can go to Hoboken and they know you by name, and we love that feeling, that small town feeling. I love that my kid's first grade teacher is one of our neighbors.
Yes.
That small town feeling I think is just
special. Everything
to us right now.
Right.
And we really love that part of Guthrie. And I personally think that Guthrie has done a great job at fostering growth while keeping that small town feel.
I do too, yes.
Right? It still feels great to be here in a small town and those those principles and values that small towns traditionally keep, it's still here.
Right.
But it offers all the things you need for day-to-day life and entertainment.
And growth is, we've got to have it to stay healthy for multiple reasons, And next week at our State of the City luncheon, they'll be talking about that too. Like we have to have money, to do things, which means we have to have growth.
Right.
But I'm like you, I feel like it's really important for us to still remember who we are, preserve our history here, and still keep our community feel while also still growing.
Right.
It's not an easy blend, I feel like. There are those people that are like, hey, no, I like the size that Guthrie is. I don't want that to change.
Right.
But then we know that we have to. We have to keep growing and evolving in order to keep doing more. So
we do.
Yep.
And I think if communities like Guthrie, unfortunately, are being consumed by larger communities, and you're running out of great communities like this to live and raise your family in. So I think we're very fortunate to be here living as you and I are transplants.
Yes, and Cedar Valley at that. Yes. No, that's awesome. My family felt the same way. We wanted to be closer to town. We lived out by Lazy E for 8 years and wanted to come closer to town, and then we found it out there, and we loved it too because we could be a little out of town but still very much, in Guthrie and Guthrie schools and, involved. And so yeah, we love that. But I think you're doing an amazing job. I loved having you on today and getting to know you more and hear all the things that Cedar Valley's Pro Wash is doing, and it sounds like you got some exciting things planned in the future and all of that. So you posted the other day that you got a new website. So what's that website so people want to reach you there?
Yeah, so this is our website. You can find it at cvprowash.com.
Okay.
It just gives a little bit of background about what we do and what sort of services that we do offer. As I mentioned, there's a wide range of services that we do on both commercial and residential side. Okay. Those are all actual photos from jobs that we've done, and didn't steal anything from Google.
Getting that red dirt off that White House. Look at that. Look at that.
So it just gives you an opportunity to look at what we do, some overview of our equipment.
That's cool. I haven't seen very many companies do that. I like that you did that, like showing what actual equipment you use and labeling it and stuff. That's neat.
I think it's important to understand that we're not just a group of folks going out with a pressure washer we bought from a big box store,
right,
and cleaning things. We're really taking pride in what we're doing, and we want to do a great job every time we go out.
And doing your research, like you found this the front nine, chemical and things like that you can use. So yes, very cool. There's some commercial sites.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. A new HTO. Where was that?
That is a new fire station in Oklahoma City.
Okay. And there's that HTO too. Yep.
That fire station was about 20,000 square feet of concrete that we cleaned up in a day.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Very cool. So you got the website, and then, of course, you're on Facebook.
We are on Facebook. Yep. You can find us at Cedar Valley Pro Wash.
Okay.
We're on Facebook.
Yep.
Which we try to be engaged in that. I'm learning to network on Facebook.
It's a whole nother bear.
But
it's so important. It's how people find their info.
That's where most of our
I feel like people are going there before they go to even just Google.
I think so.
I think they're going to Facebook, especially our age. Now, the young teens will say Facebook's not cool, and they're on TikTok and Instagram, and those are great resources too. But there's lots of us that's still using the Facebook. Right. So people can message you on Facebook or through the website.
They can. Yeah, they can message us on Facebook. We're very active on there and checking our messages and keeping up. Okay. You can always call or text us.
Your phone number. Yeah.
That is it.
That's and email. Okay. And so, I'm sure you do free quotes, free estimates. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm actually, as soon as we're done here, I'm heading to go quote a job.
Okay.
So we do free quotes. We will show up on location and get all the measurements and assess the job and give an accurate quote.
Okay. So one last question I thought of too. Do you people can just hire you for one job, or are you doing some contract work too if people want to enter into a contract?
So what we're looking at now, and what we would really love is we're actually looking for businesses in Guthrie, right? Reoccurring work. Sure. Right now it's usually a one-off call.
Sure.
Just, can you clean this up for me, right? But what's important on the commercial side is, especially those high traffic commercial sites, your restaurants and drive-throughs and banks, they have an accumulation of oil and things on the ground, right? Which, on the safety side, can become very dangerous, right? dangerous situation. So on the risk mitigation side, we would love to have those accounts to be able to go out there and service them every 3 months or maybe just twice a year to help, you know, with that accumulation of oil and different, you know, petroleum products that may spill out from your car.
Right.
You know, but I think that's something that we're looking at now, and we're hoping to get into more, just to help, you know.
Okay. So the best way is just give you a call. Give you a call so you can, so that you can get a hold of you. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Oh, yes, there's us rocking the Cedar Valley Pro Wash gear. I quickly stole the hoodie. The girls in the office laughed because they said we knew you would, because it's a good hoodie, and I'm going to wear that. And it's Guthrie colors. So anyway, so T-shirt Tuesday, we love doing that. It's fun. It's a great way for us to promote your business, and thank you for participating with us for T-shirt Tuesday.
Absolutely.
So, all right, well, there you have it. Jake with Cedar Valley Pro Wash. Reach out to him if you have questions. Thank you again for taking time to tell your story. Thank you for your service, and we're really glad that your family has chosen Guthrie and that you guys are here. So,
thank you so much.
All right, everyone, take care, and we'll catch you next time on Chamber Vibes.
Thanks for listening to the Chamber Vibes podcast from Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful downtown Guthrie, America. Be sure and check out a new episode every other Monday. And until then, remember to choose Guthrie.